Hey everyone, how's it going and welcome back. It's June and it's that time in the garden where it can feel like everything is happening at once. And you might be asking yourself, what should I be doing in the garden right now? Well, rather than giving you a whole list of tasks or going through how-tos, what I'm going to do is bring you along with me. We're going to have a look around the garden and I'm going to show you what I'm doing in my garden right now. Let's go. Super easy one to start with, and that's deadheading. All you need is a pair of scissors or ideally a pair of secateurs. So every day I go for a wander around the garden and have a look at what's changing, what's coming into flower, but more importantly, what flowers are starting to pass and look a little bit faded. That's where deadheading comes in. First of all, it makes every plant look tidier once you start to cut off those dying flowers. Perfect example are these roses. So you can see that we've got some nice flowers going and we've got plenty of nice fresh buds that are still to come, but we do have some flowers that are really kind of faded and some that are completely spent and are completely dead. So when I'm doing this, using the secateurs, I'll trace back the little stem from the flower that's spent down to where it joins either the stem of another bud or where it joins another leaf, and I'll cut right back just down at the bottom there. And there you go. It looks instantly better, doesn't it? So all I've got to do now is keep working down the rest of the roses that we've got in the garden. The second benefit is repeat flowering. So once a plant has finished flowering, its next priority is making seeds. Now, if you get in nice and early and cut the dead heads off, they don't get a chance to produce seed. So instead, they're highly likely to produce more flowers and give you a longer season of interest. These are Aquilegia, and you can see that they've already really pretty much passed, but there are quite a lot of seed heads. So all of this needs to go. So what I'm going to do is cut these down, and hopefully I'm going to get a repeat flowering. Weeding. It's not fun, it's not cool, it's really boring, I get it, but at the moment, this is when weeds are growing at their hardest, so if you get on top of them and hit them hard now, it's going to be easier to keep on top of them throughout the rest of the year. But if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, here are a couple of things I do to try and make more of an impact with a little bit less effort. If you've got loads of areas of weeds that you need to tackle but you're not sure where to start first, prioritize. Go with the high visibility areas. So this little patch here is at the back of our house and the kitchen overlooks it. So every morning when I get up and I'm making my cup of tea, this is what I'm looking at. So I know that if I clear this little area now, every time I look out, I'm going to feel way better. So there you go. It only took a couple of minutes just to get this little patch done, even less using the magic of film. Now, saying that, I still need to get back to this bit. I'll do that later on. But there's another place where our weeds are highly visible that when I get rid of them, it has maximum impact, and it's over here. So another place where we have really visible weeds is in our hedges. We have a lot of weeds that grow up through all of them around the garden, and it makes them really noticeable. So get rid of them, everything's going to look a lot tidier. I wish I could say that these were left here purely so that they would develop big enough to look good for this video. But yeah, that wouldn't be the truth. It's more that I just haven't got around to it yet. So let's get stuck in. It's already starting to look a good bit tidier, but I've got a lot more to go. Next up, it's watering. Now here in Ireland, we've had an unseasonably warm and dry spring, which meant that the water board has already imposed a hosepipe ban, which means more than ever, you need to be deliberate and thoughtful about how you water your plants. As ever, there's no point in getting a hose and just spraying parts of the garden, particularly during the afternoon or when the sun's out. All that's going to happen is the water's going to evaporate really quickly rather than getting down towards the roots, which is what the plants need. Worse still, if you do it on a very hot summer's day, there's the risk that you can actually scorch the leaves and damage your plants. Instead, what you want to be using is a watering can. For starters, that's going to help you conserve water because you're going to be more thoughtful about how much you're using, and it also allows you to water right down directly at the roots of the plants that you're wanting to give the most TLC to. So when it comes to pots like these, you want to make sure that you're watching them like a hawk all the time. Generally, pots are pretty tightly planted full of plants, plus there's not an awful lot of compost in there, and they're more susceptible to things like wind and heat, so it means that they can dry out really quick. Keep an eye on them, but if you notice that they have got really dry, rather than trying to pour water onto the top, lift the pot, set it into something else that's full of water, and let it have a good soak for a couple of hours. The same goes for the polytunnel. Cucumbers and tomatoes are really thirsty and hungry plants, so I come down here every day and give them a water to make sure that they don't dry out. Then once a week I add a liquid seaweed feed into my watering can and give all of the plants a good feed as well. So there you have it, 3 easy things that almost every garden needs at this time of year. And remember, you don't have to get everything done in one go. Every little bit that you do is going to help keep your garden looking awesome. So if you enjoyed this, let me know by giving it a thumbs up or leaving a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post my next video. And until next time, see you later.